Coming up on Let's Get to the Points.
The bigger question is it Marriott or Marriott?
Marriott. So great, you want to marry it.
I don't know about that.
2 nights, all-inclusive, 20,000 Marriott points total. That's insane.
Do you think this Marriott card is worth it?
My strategy for ensuring that I don't waste the $25 dining credit per month is that
One of the things that really irritates me about Marriott,
I think it's both.
But another thing that's important about the Marriott program is status. For me, I'm a lifetime platinum.
And now, let's get to the points. She loves traveling luxuriously for a fraction of the cost. It's Serena. He embraces every travel experience, and he proves adventure is found everywhere. It's Miguel. She teaches you and your family to travel on a budget while indulging in a little bit of occasional luxury. It's Nicole. And he loves using his points to fly some of the world's best airlines in first class. It's Mitch Shannon.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us on Let's Get to the Points video, audio podcast, where we bring you the very best in tips and tricks in the world of miles, points, and travel. I'm Ed Shannon, joined by my co-hosts who love traveling the world with their families using their credit card, points, and miles. First up, she's never been Bonvoyed yet. It's Serena.
hi everyone.
His new love is the St. Regis. It's Miguel.
Yeah, it's a
And her first love is Hyatt, then followed by Hilton, and then maybe Marriott's in there somewhere, right, Nicole?
Somewhere in the back.
Please help us out. Click the subscribe button now below to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch or listen. Also, please sign up for our weekly email newsletter where we send you the latest news in points and miles. Are you guys ready to do it? Let's get to the points.
Let's Get to the Points is brought to you by Seats.aero.
Black Friday is here already, and our friends at Seats.aero, they've given us a very special offer to share with you. You can use code LGTTP30 and you'll get 30% off your first month, or the better deal is taking the year. And I've got a question for you all. What is your favorite thing about Seats.aero? Serena.
I think you know my answer, Mitch. I love setting alerts. Those alerts have come through for me multiple times, and I love the multi-city codes as well. So I'm setting my alerts for West Coast. I use code WST for all the West Coast hubs. 2, for example, Asia, ASA, all the big Asia airports.
So my top 2 favorite things are going to be the Lufthansa First Class Finder and the ANA First Class Finder, because with those tools, you could see everything that's available from North America, either to Frankfurt or Munich on Lufthansa or to Japan on ANA. And it'll show you all the airports from North America that can fly over there in one shot. So yeah, no more searching month by month by month.
My favorite feature is their little known secret spot called rooms.aero. I love getting, like Serena, the notification that a hotel has become available. And always looking for 2 hotel rooms is always a problem, but with rooms.aero, it makes it super easy to find the awards that you want.
My favorite thing about Seats.aero is they keep getting better and they keep adding new features. They just added the seat map viewer, and you can even set an alert for it. All you got to do is use code LGTTP30 now until November 29th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. 30% off applies to both the monthly and annual pricing during this promotion. That's code LGTTP30, the best deal you're going to find for Seats.aero, and we thank them for sponsoring our show. Tonight, we are going to take a look into the popular points program of Marriott Bonvoy. Since the big merger with SPG several years ago, the program has had many changes, many ups and downs, devaluations, and a lot more. The program offers a lot of credit cards from American Express and Chase. So we are taking a look at the question tonight, is the program worth the time and the effort? But I think to start off, the bigger question is it Marriott or Marriott? What do you guys think?
Marriott. It's so great, you want to marry it.
I don't know about that.
I've heard it's Marriott like chariot.
And I heard it's Marriott, not as good as Hyatt.
Here we go.
Already.
So I think officially it is supposed to be Marriott and not Marriott. But sometimes, occasionally in shows, we will slip up and say Marriott.
So it's like that people that say Cutter.
No.
Why?
It's not like that at all. That's totally way off.
And these are intelligent people. I don't know how they come up with Cutter, but
Scorching earth, Nicole, scorching earth.
I'm just saying.
We are going to talk about the different brands in the Marriott portfolio. Then we're going to talk about how to earn Marriott points, how to burn Marriott points, like the best ways to use those free night certificates you might have. And then we're going to talk about whether having status is worth it or not.
Marriott Bonvoy has over 30 brands of properties, and they're categorized in one of 4 different collections. We start with the luxury collection, there is a premium collection, a select location, and then an extended stay or longer stay category. In the luxury collection, you have well-known brands like the Ritz-Carlton, the St. Regis, the JW Marriott. In the premium collection are your mid-tier properties like Marriott, Sheraton, Le Méridien, and their partnership with MGM. Your select brands are your lower tier properties that include Courtyard, Spring Hill Suites, AC Hotels, and others. And then you have the longer stay collection, which includes things like the Marriott Executive Apartments, Residence Inn, and TownePlace Suites. So starting with the luxury collection, which of these brands have you all stayed at?
I'll go first.
Let's
0.
guess.
None of the above.
Yeah.
Not
That was easy.
true.
Not
I've
true.
stayed at a Not true. I have stayed at a Ritz-Carlton,
Which one?
the one in DC.
How did you end up there?
Wouldn't you like to know? James was on a work trip. At the time, I wanted to go anywhere that a plane took me. So they were already paying for the hotel. So we just bought our tickets. I think at the time, Nyla was still in a stroller. She wasn't even walking. And James might have been like 3 years old. Oh my God, I have this picture. I'm going to get it from my mom so we can put it up here. James being tied to the stroller and dragging it in front of the Capitol building.
Wow.
But since they were paying for the hotel, we just went along and stayed. And I knew this hotel was luxury because apparently somebody had spilled bleach on the carpet. And there was a gentleman with a syringe pumping the color back into the carpet. I was like, this is on another level.
I have never been to a Ritz-Carlton, but I want to go to the one in the Maldives because that looks fancy. So I have been to the St. Regis Bora Bora, which I loved. So much better than the Conrad Bora Bora. I think I'm going to save my Marriott points for either the Ritz in Maldives or the St. Regis in the Red Sea.
That's where Ronaldo stayed.
Did he really?
Yeah, there's an episode of his wife, Georgina, her Netflix show at the St. Regis there in Red Sea.
I know.
Oh,
Gosh.
okay.
It looks beautiful. I think we should go
It is.
together as a team.
Of course you do.
At least it's not the West Coast.
I'm pretty sure I've stayed at most of the luxury collection brands. And I think my favorite is St. Regis. I don't know, maybe it's because there's Butler. And coming back from Mexico City and staying at the St. Regis Mexico City, I really enjoyed the coffee service where 24/7 you can call them up and they bring you coffee in bed. That was a really nice touch. And this was also the first time that I used their pressing service. They will complimentary press 2 garments per person per day. So I think that's also a nice touch.
Oh, Miguel, you had dropped that picture of the coffee service in our chat. I was goo goo gaga over that coffee service. That was pretty remarkable.
Is it just the St. Regis that has that butler service?
I've stayed at Ritz-Carlton and they don't have that. And Ritz-Carlton, I think it's more old money. I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like it's not modern rooms or that type of situation. I feel it's just people that want to pay more to just be away from common folk. If that makes sense. Because
Perfect sense.
I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Denver because I wanted to burn a free night certificate. And I don't think what they were charging at the cash rate was worth it. I don't think I would have paid that because there was nothing special to that property.
That's exactly how I felt about the stay. And this was almost 20 years ago. But what you do get, what Serena might value, is the service. I remember just asking for a spoon and it came with like 5 different spoons folded in a napkin. But the hotel itself does speak old money. It doesn't speak modern or anything like that. I'm not sure if that's all of them, but that was my experience also.
Yeah, I love your analogy, Miguel, because that's pretty much spot on. Because I've seen the stays that you've had, Serena have had at the St. Regis, and I compare it to where we have stayed to the Ritz-Carlton, and I think you're exactly spot on. It's kind of that old money feel.
Yeah, same thing at the Ritz-Carlton in Tokyo. I don't think the hotel itself was very nice, but the service was great. But then again, we were in Japan, so service is above average anyway. So we did like the service service there at the Ritz-Carlton Tokyo.
I loved the service that we got at the St. Regis Bora Bora, and I only had gold status at the time. We're going to talk about status later on in the show, but it's not a top tier status that I had. They upgraded us to an overwater villa. They decorated my kids' beds for their birthdays with balloons. They got to keep child-sized bathrobes that they got, and then they delivered a special box to us with leather luggage tags and leather-bound passport covers with the St. Regis Bora Bora logo on it. I just thought that was amazing. And I'm just a gold member. Do they treat that to all members? I don't know, but I felt very special.
Speaking of service, I saw some really good St. Regis service in action when we were in Mexico City. Every night at a St. Regis property, they have a special ceremony where they pop champagne and give some complimentary champagne to whoever is attending, usually in the reception, the lobby. They open the champagne bottle with a sword, saber, so they call it a sabering. At this ceremony, they use the sword to open the bottle of champagne, and then they serve complimentary champagne to the guests that are there. When I was there, obviously I wanted some free champagne, so I went down at 6:30 to get my glass. About 15 minutes after the ceremony, a couple women showed up, and they were disappointed to find out that it was over, the ceremony was over, they missed it. And so they were pretty bummed out. They're like, oh, did we miss it? And one of the butlers that had opened the bottles of champagne was like, yes, you know, we just finished up a couple minutes ago. And he saw that they were disappointed that they had missed this. Then he offered to do a private sabering ceremony in their room. They asked him how much that would be, and they said, no, it's complimentary. We can just go to your room and do a private ceremony there so you don't miss out, because they were leaving the next day.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I missed the sabering in Bora Bora. I should have asked too. They probably got to keep the whole bottle.
So I just thought that was cool that I witnessed that, you know, that St. Regis service while I was there. And I was a little jealous that I didn't get a private ceremony.
Okay, I don't want to sound like I am complaining about all the Ritz-Carlton brands. There are some luxury brands that we have stayed at that we actually enjoyed, and we talked about those in last week's episode. It's the Omaha in Dubai, and the other one is the Naka Island in Phuket. So you can go back and watch last week's episode and get some good footage and video in there of those two properties. So let's talk about the premium brands. What do you guys like?
I'm going to say the Autograph Collection, but for a specific property, because the Autograph Collection is a curated collection. So there are no two hotels alike. They're all going to be different. And in El Paso, we have one called Hotel Paso del Norte, which is part of the Autograph Collection. And that is my go-to when we have date night. We go for a staycation. Brunch there is really nice on the weekends. So that is one of my favorite properties.
So Miguel, I just booked my very first Autograph Collection hotel today.
Are you going to come visit me?
El Paso is on my list, but
Is
not
it
for
really?
this trip that I'm planning. That's rude, Nicole. Miguel, you should be offended. My next Autograph Collection booking will be in El Paso, but this one that I booked today is in Greece. It is an Autograph Collection hotel, and it's called Domes of Alunda. It looks beautiful because they have very nice sea views. I can fit all 6 of us in 2 rooms, and the standard room is a traditional suite with a separate bedroom and a separate living room. Oh, and every balcony comes with either a private pool or a jacuzzi.
Wow. How many points per night was that?
Okay, this is an interesting booking because funny that you ask. The reason why I booked it now is because there is a transfer bonus from American Express to Marriott. It's a 35% transfer bonus that ends at the end of November. And I don't normally collect Marriott points, and my only way of earning them is through American Express and with a transfer. So I always wait for a bonus like there is now. And for the standard room, the regular rate is 73,000 points per night. But with the transfer bonus, I'm actually paying only 55,000 American Express points per night for each room, which I don't think is bad. And the great thing about this property, it includes free breakfast, free parking, no resort fee.
You had me at free breakfast.
Yeah.
That's nice, because that's not really a thing with Marriott. You know, they have this matrix you have to decipher to see whether or not your status gets you free breakfast depending on the property. And we'll get into that later on in the show. But yeah, that's pretty interesting that it includes breakfast.
Yeah, this one gives free breakfast for everyone. You don't have to have status, which is great.
And how did you find this, Serena?
When I was looking for a hotel on the island of Crete, I look at all the hotel chains. There's no Hyatt there, Nicole, so you probably never end up on the island of Crete.
Well, for 55,000 points and free breakfast, you never
Maybe,
know.
huh?
Do they fit 4 in a room, Serena?
They fit 2 adults and 2 children in a room. And the standard room is called a family suite. And so there's 1 king bed in the main bedroom. And then the living room, it is a sofa that fits 2. I don't think you can fit 4 adults in a room, but you can fit 3 adults in a room. There is a Hilton there and some SLH properties. But this one on Marriott's website really stuck out to me because it's in a nice location too. And also pretty close to a few towns that are close by where we can go to and have a pretty decently priced dinner. And this resort also has family activities. They have a teen club with teen activities and games for my older daughter. And there's also a free kids club for younger kids as well.
Sounds like you hit the jackpot.
I hope so. You know, you never know how things are going to go until you're actually there. So stay tuned until next summer to see how it goes.
Since we are talking about the premium brands, I'm really familiar with these because this was the bread and butter of what I used to stay at. So my favorite one out of all of them is the Westin, and it's probably for the most stupidest reason ever. But I love the pillows that they have at the Westin because I am a pillow snob. They are very firm and they're very comfortable, and I love the smell of the Westin. That's why I like that
The
brand
smell.
so much. It's like a white orchid type smell that they pump in there. Yeah.
Is it called a heavenly pillow?
Yeah, everything's heavenly about that. So the one Westin that comes to mind is the one in Singapore. We've stayed there. They've got a great night market right behind there, but it's a really nice property, and I like the brand. I like the bedding. I like the heavenly stuff. I like the heavenly shower. It's very heavenly is what it is.
Did you know you can buy the heavenly pillow and the heavenly bed?
Oh yeah, I'm not paying for that, but yeah, I know. But the other brand that I really like out of this lineup is the Renaissance. And that being, there's one in Bangkok. It's the Renaissance Bangkok. We must have stayed there, gosh, 10, 15 times over all the times that we have went to Thailand. And that hotel, it's almost kind of like a second home to us because first off, the location, incredible. You can't get to a better spot right inside Bangkok that you want to be. The second part is the lounge that they have up top. I remember one of the breakfast gals, and she would always know my order when we came in there. They had eggs made to order, and the buffet that they had set out in that lounge was so nice. Every morning they had these pandan donuts, and I would probably eat like 3 or 4 of these pandan donuts, and I probably shouldn't. But yeah, the Renaissance in Bangkok, great location, great property as well.
We also have these other 2 brands in the Marriott portfolio, the Select brands and the Longer Stay brands. These include brands like the Courtyard, the Fairfield Inn, Moxy Hotels, Town Place Suites, and Residence Inns. There are some Marriott brands that consistently offer free breakfast, and these include the Residence Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Fairfield, Town Place Suites by Marriott, and the Element. And you know, I've stayed at a lot of Residence Inns in my day because of the free breakfast. Their rooms are usually bigger. They come with a little kitchenette too. So it's great for families, which is why I like to choose Residence Inns. And the free breakfast is also great, especially for someone like me that doesn't have a top tier status with Marriott.
Now that you mentioned those brands, I have stayed at a few of them, especially with 2 kids in travel soccer.
Surprise, surprise.
I've been to the Elements. I love that one. We stayed at the one in Denver, and it's extremely modern. When I went to Berlin, I stayed at the Moxy. Apparently, I've stayed at that hotel twice.
Wow, you're a Marriott fan and you didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it.
She's going to check her account, and she's going to have all these Marriott points.
I did have Marriott points in my account. That's why I booked the Moxy in Berlin. I don't even know where these, I guess they accumulated over time from all these soccer travels. And I also stayed at the Moxy in Chicago for that marathon. So apparently wherever there's a marathon, I'm staying at a Moxy.
Do you like the Moxy brand?
I do. I like it's kind of futuristic, edgy kind. The one in Berlin, the lobby was redone and it looks really nice, but the rooms itself are kind of outdated. But it's good value for your points. I think I used 23,000 points for the one in Berlin.
Yeah, I think the Moxys are nice, but they are a little bit on the small side as far as the room size, the ones that I've been to. Not to be the one to bring Hyatt into this, but that Me and All hotel brand kind of gives Moxy.
Okay, now we're going to talk about how we earn our Marriott points.
Or Marriott points. However you want to say it, it's fine.
No judgment from us.
Only if you say Qatar, then we're hella judging you.
So one of the ways that people like to earn Marriott points is with their credit cards. And sometimes these credit cards have very lucrative sign-up offers. The Marriott credit cards are offered by both American Express and Chase. With American Express, we have the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card, the Marriott Bonvoy Bevy, and the Marriott Business American Express card. With Chase, there is the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful credit card and the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless credit card. And we also have the Marriott Bonvoy Bold card. There are also additional Marriott cards out there, but they're not open to new applicants. But there are some backdoor methods to get these cards. Right, Miguel?
That's right. With Chase, there's one of my favorite cards, and I used to have this. Well, my wife used to have it, but there is a Ritz-Carlton credit card. And the only way you can get that is by doing a product change or upgrading one of your other Chase cards, like the Bold, the Boundless, or the Bountiful. You could upgrade those into a Ritz-Carlton card. After you've had one of these Chase Bonvoy Marriott cards for at least a year, you can call and get an upgrade to the Ritz-Carlton card. And we've mentioned the card before, but that's the only way you can get it. You cannot apply for it as a first-time card holder. You would have to upgrade to it.
Okay, I remember Mitch had this card and he was thinking about canceling it. So I want to know, Mitch, do you still have this card? This Ritz-Carlton card?
First, Serena, I got to compliment you on your bees. You handled your Bonvoy Bevy bees beautifully in listing the cards. So do I still have the Chase Ritz card? Yeah, I do. I couldn't be torn away from that card because of that certificate. It comes with an 85,000 point certificate, which we're going to kind of get into this a little later. I can add 15,000 points to that, and that's good for one night at 100,000 points. The annual fee on that card is worth it because not only does it cover that certificate as well, but you get a $300 travel credit that kind of works for a lot of stuff if you just send Chase a private message for the reimbursement. But I didn't tell you that. But you know, it's a great card and I just couldn't let it go because I'm basically paying a net amount of about $100 for a free night certificate that's worth 85,000 points. So yeah, I was on the fence, but I couldn't do it. And Miguel, you're doing very good with your bees as well. Beautifully. I might Bonvoy add you. I don't know. That's stupid, but yeah, you're doing good.
Another card that you cannot directly apply for is the American Express Marriott Bonvoy card. This is a personal card that you can only get if you downgrade your Brilliant card. So if you think that, what is it now, like $650 annual fee is a lot, instead of canceling that card, you could downgrade that to, I think it's $100 or $125 annual fee. And that one will come with a 35,000 free night certificate instead of the Brilliant's 85,000 point free night certificate.
So Miguel, I remember doing some research about these credit cards for Marriott.
You mean Marriott? Just kidding.
No. I mean Hyatt. Hyatt with a B.
Buy it?
Exactly. So like if you have this card, you can't get this card, but you need to get this card before you get this card. So which one of these cards do you think, in your opinion, is worth it?
Yeah, it is a little bit hard to understand whether you're eligible for a welcome offer on these cards based on which cards you've had in the past or how long ago you got them. So we do recommend that you figure out whether or not you're eligible before you apply for one of these cards, and they don't make it easy. From the Chase side, I think the one that is definitely a keeper card for me is the Chase Boundless card because that comes with a $95 annual fee, but it has a free night certificate that you can use for 35,000 points per year with up to another 15,000 points to redeem a free night. And only American Express offers a business card for Marriott, and that one has a $125 annual fee and also comes with a free night certificate of the same 35,000 points. Now, all of the personal cards will come with 15 elite night credits. What does that mean? That means that they're going to count as if you had stayed with them 15 nights. That counts towards earning elite status, and we'll cover elite status further on in the show. Another one that could be worth it for some people if you stay at Marriott frequently is the American Express Brilliant card. Now, this one has a lot higher annual fee, but it comes with 25 elite night credits. Now, if its status is important to you, this could help you get titanium status a lot faster because it already comes with complimentary platinum status when you have the Brilliant card. So those elite night credits could help you if you want to get more than platinum status. So if you're working towards titanium or ambassador.
Okay, Miguel, I do have a question for you about the Brilliant card from American Express. Express. So one of the benefits of this card is it does give you platinum status, which gets you the lounge and the breakfast. This is kind of somewhat equivalent to the Hilton Aspire card where you get diamond status. So do you think this Marriott card is worth it?
For me, it's been worth it. It does have a $650 annual fee, which is a lot, but you get $25 dining credit per month. My strategy for ensuring that I don't waste the $25 dining credit per month is that that's my default card for my Chick-fil-A app. Let me tell you, I spend more than $25 a month on Chick-fil-A, so I always get my $25 back per month. So that covers $300 worth of the annual fee. For the other $350 left on the annual fee, it comes with an 85,000 point free night certificate, which I think it's worth it to me. Or you tell me, you saw the pictures and video of my stay at the St. Regis, Mexico City, where I used one of these free night certificates. So is it worth it?
I would pay $350 for that coffee service. Absolutely.
Of course you would.
And the armed guard outside, so I'm sure you felt protected too.
Yeah, the rates for the St. Regis, Mexico City for the Dia de los Muertos when we went was over $1,000 a night. So I definitely think it was worth it for me.
Yeah, I've had this card on the back of my mind. If I had some aspirational stay for multi number of nights, I think I would definitely get this card to ensure I have platinum status with the free breakfast and the possible upgrades.
Serena, you forgot to add the asterisk after free breakfast because that doesn't come at every property. So there's also this chart that shows you which properties give you free breakfast when you have platinum status, which is not all of them. So yeah, it's not as easy to understand as Hyatt. You can clap, Nicole.
That chart gives me a migraine, Nicole. That's how bad that breakfast chart is for Marriott.
Well, this is what you guys signed up for.
Is there a property that comes to mind where you walked in with your lifetime platinum status and did not get free breakfast?
Yeah, absolutely. The Ritz-Carltons, they all do not come with free breakfast. Well, okay, I would say almost all of them, because they have been some exceptions. I think, Miguel, you had an exception at one of the Ritz-Carltons that you stayed at as well. And I'm pretty sure that Ritz-Carlton in the Maldives that you want to go to, Serena, I kind of want to go to that one too. From what I've heard, that comes with free breakfast regardless of your status. So,
good news.
Yeah, I'll have to double check that, but yes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I think I read something about most of the Asian Ritz-Carlton are going to provide you breakfast as a courtesy, when most other countries don't have that option.
Another brand that does not offer free breakfast, and it doesn't matter if you have status with them or not, is the Edition brands. The Edition brand does not give you free breakfast. They don't care if you're platinum, titanium, unobtainium, or whatever it is. You don't get free breakfast there.
Wow, that's a lot of cards. I don't have any of them, but I might get the Brilliant one day. We'll see. Fortunately, there are other ways to earn Marriott points. As I mentioned earlier, you can transfer points from American Express, also from Chase and Bilt. And sometimes American Express and Bilt might have a transfer bonus. Like right now, American Express has a 35% transfer bonus to Marriott, which ends at the end of November. You can transfer points to Marriott from 2 airlines, Singapore Airlines and United Airlines. You can earn points from referring friends. You can refer up to 5 new members each calendar year and earn 2,000 points each for up to 5 of their paid stays for a total of up to 50,000 bonus points. And the friends you refer will earn 2,000 points for each of their 5 paid stays for a maximum of 10,000 bonus points. You can also earn points by referring friends and family to the credit cards. Marriott also has a dining rewards program called Eat Around Town, where you can be rewarded with Marriott points by dining at certain restaurants. You can link any card to their dining rewards program and earn points from dining at one of the restaurants on their list. We recommend adding cards that have a higher multiplier on restaurants and dining so you can stack these two benefits and earn even more points. You can also earn points on car rentals and cruises through Marriott's partnership. Marriott also has a partnership with Starbucks and Uber Eats, where you can earn more points. You can buy points, and if you check the promotions page, there are sometimes promos you can sign up for to earn even more points. And as I mentioned earlier, Mitch, remember I told you can buy a heavenly pillow? Well, you can also buy a heavenly bed. You can buy a St. Regis bed and earn extra Marriott points by doing that too. Guess how much these beds cost?
I don't even want to know.
It's like $4,000 or $5,000, I think.
They can go as high as $6,000, but they look like very nice beds. But I've never been to a hotel room, slept on a bed, and thought I need to buy one of these. Have you guys?
Never.
And it's also important to know that you can combine points with other members, and you can easily do this online. To transfer points to another member, they have to be in increments of 1,000 points. You're allowed 6 transactions per year, 2 transactions per month. This is a great way to share points between family and friends if you don't have enough points in your own account.
I've definitely done this before where I transferred points from my wife's Marriott account that she got for a welcome offer, and I transferred them to my account because I had status and I want to get more elite nights to continue having status, and I transferred the points so I could redeem them under my account. Another reason to combine points is you might need more points when you're doing a longer stay. With Marriott, you get the 5th night free when you redeem with points.
So putting the points in one account is going to make it easier for you to do an extended stay up to 4 nights so you can qualify for the 5th night free.
And the smart thing to do is to put them in the account that has the status, like Miguel did, because you want to make sure you have status during your stay.
We've stayed at a couple of these Marriott properties. Which properties have you stayed at and which ones are your favorites? Let us know in the comments, please.
And just remember that if you are interested in any of these credit cards, we have credit card links for some of these Marriott cards, and you can find them on our website under credit cards. This is a great way for you to support us so that we can continue making shows like this for you.
We're always talking about credit cards on here, and sometimes I think people get overwhelmed with like which card to get and how you keeping up with the annual fee and which one is due and my 524 score. So there's this app called Travel Freely that we use, and it helps you organize your credit card. It notifies you when your annual fee is due. It even lets you know when the deadline is for your minimum spend. This app is very helpful, especially if you have multiple cards. Travel Freely is an app that I really like to use, and if you'd like, check the show notes for a link to Travel Freely. We all use this app, and it's helped us tremendously keep up with all the different credit cards that we've had.
And of course, another way to earn Marriott points is just by staying at hotels. Let's cover the best part, how to redeem these Marriott points. Here are some things to keep in mind when you're redeeming Marriott points. Unlike Hyatt, Marriott uses dynamic pricing for their award rates. That means award pricing for hotel rooms will fluctuate based on the pricing of the rates on the room. When you're searching on the Marriott website, you can use the flexible date option to see a calendar view of availability and the points cost for each night. This will give you a better view and what dates will have a higher points cost. Marriott has the stay for 5 and pay for 4. Another way of saying when you use points, you get the 5th night free. And that 5th free night will be the lowest priced night out of the 5-night stay. One cool thing about the Marriott program is you can redeem points for upgraded rooms at some properties. We talked about this during our last episode of the best travel destinations, where we talked about using Marriott points to book directly into an overwater villa in the Maldives. You'll want to look out for the Marriott Point Savers Awards. Point Savers are discounted award pricing that is cheaper than what you would normally see. One of the things that really irritates me about Marriott is if you book a point stay and if that property charges a resort fee, you will be charged that resort fee, which means you're going to get a bill at the end of your stay and you have to pay it. Hilton and Hyatt does not do that. So you want to be very, very careful when you're choosing a property if you don't want to pay anything out of pocket. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's bull.
It defeats the purpose, doesn't it? They should call it cash plus points stay.
That's right. Miguel, did you have a resort fee in Mexico City?
Absolutely not. The only thing I was charged was a tip that I left for breakfast. And I don't know, I got to double check my bill because when I checked out, they said that's all 200 pesos. But I got 10,000 points for that stay, so I don't know what they gave me. I got so many points.
Another thing when you're trying to do a search for award pricing for these Marriott properties is sometimes you'll get different results on the app versus the desktop. Sometimes this has to do with clearing your cache, so maybe using incognito mode might be good. But if you're looking on the desktop and you're not getting the results you expect, you might want to try the app. Another thing is Marriott has transfer partners to almost 40 airlines. And sometimes Marriott offers transfer bonuses. For select partners, you will get 5,000 bonus miles for every 60,000 points that you transfer. And for United in particular, you will get 10,000 bonus points if you transfer 60,000 points. The transfer ratio from Marriott to these airlines for the most part is 3-1. That means 3 Marriott points will equal 1 mile at the airline.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. But you know what? I know people who have millions and millions of Marriott points and they can't use them fast enough. So I think for people like that, it makes sense for them to do this if they have no other way to use these points.
Another reason why somebody would want to do this is because there are some loyalty programs to which you cannot transfer from Chase or American Express or Capital One. So if you want to use their redemption, their sweet spot they might have, you could do so by transferring Marriott points into some of these loyalty programs.
One of the airlines that I'm looking at is Aegean. They are a Greek airline. None of the banks transferred Aegean. I might be able to fly them next summer, and I'm actually considering this as an option. With the transfer bonus from American Express to Marriott, I might transfer American Express to Marriott and from Marriott to Aegean if I want to book this. And Aegean right now also has some award sale on some flights. I haven't looked into this yet, but I need to run the numbers, do the math on my own, and see if it makes sense.
How many Aegean miles do you need, Serena?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet. That's on my to-do list.
The CVS to-do list?
Yes.
Because I have either 5,000 or 6,000 Aegean miles per member of my family, because a few years ago they ran a promotion and you got 5,000 or 6,000 miles just for signing up. So I did that and they're just sitting there. I don't know what I need them for, so you're free to use them.
I think you need to go to Greece.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough for at least one domestic flight within Greece. So if you're flying into Athens, that'll be enough for one way to get you to Crete or Santorini, Mykonos or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they expire. So I got to check and see if I still have them.
So I know a lot of people have some of these Marriott cards, and some of these Marriott cards come with a free night certificate. And the biggest question we get is the best uses of these free night certificates.
There are different levels of free night certificates. There are 25,000 point free night certificates, 35,000 point, 50,000 point, and 85,000 point certificates. Normally, the ones that come with cards are the 25, 35, and 85,000 point. Now, sometimes these cards will come with a welcome offer of 3 or 5 free nights, and those certificates will be for 50,000 points. These free night certificates expire a year after they've been issued, so it's important to strategize how you're going to use these free night certificates, especially when you get those 5 free night certificates for a welcome offer. If I had these free night certificates, this is where I would like to redeem them. If I had 35,000 point free night certificates, I would like to use them at either the Ritz-Carlton Cleveland or St. Louis. The nights there start at 40,000 points per night, and you can top off your free night certificate with up to 15,000 points. So this is something you could redeem for. And the nights here go for about $400 or more per night. There is a Ritz-Carlton in Wolfsburg, Germany that starts at 35,000 points per night, and the cash rate is about $500. Another nice property is the St. Regis Marsa Arabia Island. This is where I stayed when I went to the World Cup. Nights here start at 40,000 points per night, and the cash rate is $400 or more per night. There is a W in Osaka where nights start at 40,000 points per night or $400. There's also a W in Dallas that starts at 35,000 points or $350 per night. Now, I've stayed at the Westin in Madrid, and I think that was another good use of certificates. That starts at 40,000 points or $400 per night. One of the best values that you can get for your 50,000 point certificates is either the St. Regis or the Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. You can stay here starting at 50,000 points per night, and the cash rate is $1,500 per night. So that is a great use and great value that you can get for your 50K certificate. If Saudi Arabia is too far, you can stay at the St. Regis in Houston starting at 50,000 points per night, and the cash rate there is $500 per night. The Marriott New York Downtown starts at either 50,000 points or $400 per night. A popular redemption for these 50K free night certificates is Le Méridien in the Maldives, because you can find nights there starting at 50,000 points, and the cash equivalent would be $500. There's also the JW Marriott in Venice, and nights there start at 50,000 points per night. A property that I've personally stayed at is the Walt Disney Swan, which is inside the Disney World Resort, and nights there start at 50,000 points per night. The cash rate is $200 to $350 per night unless there's some type of special event. And let's not forget Tambo del Inca in Peru, which is in the Sacred Valley. If you go down to Peru and you're going to visit Machu Picchu, this is a good option for you to relax for a few nights, and nights there start at 50,000 points per night. If you have the 85,000 point free night certificates that come with either the Ritz-Carlton card or the Brilliant card, this is where I would redeem those certificates. I'm going to start with the St. Regis Mexico City because that's where I just redeemed redeem my free night certificate, nights there start at 70,000 points and the cash rate is $800 or more per night. There is Hotel the Mitsui in Kyoto, and nights there start at about 90,000 points and the cash rate is over $1,000 per night. In Paris, there is a luxury collection hotel called Prince de Galles, and nights there start at 90,000 points and the cash equivalent is about $1,000 a night. Another good use of the 85,000 point free night certificate is the Ritz-Carlton New York City, which was the first Ritz-Carlton in the US. Nights there start at about the 90,000 point range or about $1,000 a night. So I think that's another good use of your Marriott points. So I think that's another good use of your 85,000 point free night certificate or even redeeming your Marriott points for the stay there.
I think those are some really great redemptions, Miguel, but can we talk about one of my favorite ways to redeem Marriott Bonvoy points? It's the Marriott Moments packages, and I think a couple of us here at Let's Get the Points have done some of these packages, right? So Miguel, you had done the New York Jets, where you got to go out on the 50-yard line, watch a great game, and you really enjoyed that package, right?
Yeah, I think that was a great use of points. I had a fun time with my friend where we watched this NFL game and we got down to the midfield at halftime. I think that was one of those things that money can't buy. So I think it was a really good redemption.
And Serena, a couple of weeks ago, Mexico City, I was talking to your husband about his Marriott Moments experience and your daughters, and he was telling me how much he loved that because it was an all-inclusive property and the soccer player. He loved that.
Yeah, my daughter still says that's her favorite trip so far, which I think is strange. But out of all the trips we've done, she likes
another Marriott fan.
Another Marriott fan.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments that I've done, and I've talked about this countless times on this show, but it's the one at the tennis in Melbourne, Australia. And I'm trying to bid for one for next year, so stay away from the packages. That's all I'm going to say on that. I currently have a little over 300,000 Marriott points in my account right now, and I'm saving them not to stay at hotels. I'm saving them for these Marriott Bonvoy moment packages. So you want to go to the specific part of the website where it shows these Marriott moments and it lists them all. So whether you're into sports, activities, whatever it is, you're going to want to check often because they update it frequently. So bookmark the site, save it, and check it maybe every morning, just kind of like Miguel checks for award space all the time. You're going to want to check these packages because they're ever changing. Now, the best advice that I can give you, and I think Serena would back me up on this, is you want to wait till the last possible moment that you can to put in your bid for this package, but you want to have all your points ready. So if you're going to use some of your points from your P2, make sure those are transferred into your account and have them ready. And you want to get your best Nicole alarm set up for when that package is going to expire. So you're on there, you're logged in at 2:59 p.m. Pacific time, because when it expires, you want to be able to put your bid in there at the last minute. I think that's probably the best way you're going to be successful if you want one of these packages, or maybe it's not a popular package. And then, you have pretty good odds of getting it as well. But I think that's the best way in securing one of these. And I don't think any of us are going to steer you in the wrong direction. These packages, they're pretty valuable, especially yours, Serena, because it was all inclusive.
2 nights, all inclusive, with meet and greets, soccer playing on the beach, 20,000 Marriott points total. That's insane.
And who found that package for you?
That would be Miguel.
That's
our
right.
deal hunter.
I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to say that in this following year, Nicole is going to redeem Marriott points for a Moments package. I'm going to say it's going to be something to do with running, because I've seen some marathon packages on there that I think I'll get her to redeem them for.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Oh, with the American Express transfer bonus, you might want to speculatively transfer just in case.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No, ma'am. Thank you. Miguel, you have until the end of November to send this over.
So those are some of our favorite ways to redeem our Marriott Bonvoy points. I think I'm doing good with my B's so far, and I haven't messed up and said Bonvoy yet. But another thing that's important about the Marriott program is status. For me, I'm a lifetime platinum, and it's a little different than what being a regular platinum member is. So Nicole, you're going to run through this list of some of the status benefits that you get, right?
So Marriott would be number 3 on my list of hotel brands. You already know what number 1 is. Marriott has 5 different levels of elite status. Starting at the very basic one, you only need 10 nights to qualify. Silver status, you only need 10 nights to qualify, and you'll earn an extra 10% bonus points points on paid stays. You will get priority late checkout. It's not guaranteed, but they'll put you on the list if it's available. You also get special member rates and complimentary Wi-Fi. Gold status requires 25 nights per year. You get an extra 25% bonus points on paid stay, and if available, you'll get enhanced room upgrades. You will also be put on the list for late checkout of 2 p.m., and this is not guaranteed, but it's also a good perk. Now, with credit cards like the American Express Platinum and the American Express Business Platinum, you will be able to get gold status just by holding these credit cards. Make sure to link your American Express membership rewards account to your Bonvoy account in order for the status to be activated. The third level of status is Platinum. You need 50 nights per year, and you'll get an extra 50% bonus points. You'll also have the opportunity, if available, for enhanced room upgrade, and you also get a welcome gift of choice. Now, this can include things like points or breakfast at some hotels or other amenities, and this varies by brand. The fourth level is called Titanium Elite. Now, you need 75 nights to qualify for this, but you'll get an additional 75% bonus points. Again, you get enhanced room upgrades and a welcome gift of choice. It could be points, breakfast, or other amenities. Your miles may vary depending on the hotel. One special thing about Titanium Elite is that you'll get a 48-hour guarantee. So if you book by 3 p.m., 48 hours before your arrival, they'll make sure that a room is available for you. The final level of status is Ambassador Elite. You'll need 100 nights to stay here and $23,000 of qualifying spend per year. Now, with this level of status, you'll get ambassador service. And one major benefit of this status is the flexibility to choose your 24 hours on your stay. So if you decide to check in at 9 p.m., then your checkout time could be 9 p.m. the next day. And with this status, you'll get an additional 75% bonus points on paid stay. Now remember that free water at Marriott is not included depending on your status. So there is rumors of an additional elite level of status called Cobalt. We're not sure what the details are yet, but look out for it. And if we find out, we'll put it in our newsletter. Marriott gives its members an opportunity to earn lifetime status on silver, gold, and what do you have, Mitch?
Platinum status, lifetime platinum.
Lifetime. How did you get there? And what are your additional benefits?
Yeah, so we had got this right before the merger with SPG. So the terms then were a little bit different. So that's kind of how we got locked into getting this lifetime status. I will say the one thing that kind of stands out for me that is very different about lifetime status with Marriott is you have to actually stay the qualifying amount of nights in the year to get the annual choice benefit. So for example, last year we did not stay the 50 nights to get to the platinum status to get the annual choice benefit. One that we always chose was the 5 suite nights, but we didn't go for that. Now, yes, if you do have the 2 credit cards, the personal and the business, you'll be at 30 nights. You'd only have to stay 20-ish more to get to that. But we just didn't feel it was worth it to go for those 5 suite nights because honestly, sometimes they don't clear and we don't get really good uses out of them. So for us, we're just happy with the lifetime platinum and we're just going to let that be what it is.
So I actually requested 2 nights of the nightly upgrade award for my stay at the St. Regis, Mexico City, and they did not clear. These normally start to clear a few days before your stay. If they do clear, you'll be notified ahead of time, but mine, I got denied and I didn't get upgraded because it was a busy weekend. I earned those nightly upgrade awards when I hit my 50 elite nights this year. Marriott offers this program where you can earn unique benefits after staying a certain number of nights. These are called annual choice benefits. The first set of benefits are triggered when you hit 50 elite nights, and your options are either 5 nightly upgrade awards, which allows you to request upgrades, and these could clear a few days before your stay if there's any availability. Other options are a $1,000 discount on a Marriott retail brand bed. You can gift Marriott Bonvoy Elite status to a family member or friend, a $100 charity donation, or 5 elite night credits. These 5 elite night credits would be useful if you're trying to go for higher status. When you reach the 70 night milestone, you can pick one of the same options of the 50 night list, but you have another 2 options, which is a free night award of up to 40,000 points per night, or you can gift Marriott Bonvoy Gold status to a friend or family member.
So I know Mitch has lifetime platinum status. Miguel, what status do you have?
I have titanium status.
And how did you get that?
I am currently at 77 elite nights for the year, But I didn't stay 77 nights. I got 40 of those nights just by holding the Bonvoy business card from American Express and the Brilliant card. The Brilliant card gives me 25 nights. So those two can stack and combine. I start the year off with 40 elite nights. There was a promotion earlier this year where you got double elite nights, and I had a few stays during that time, so I got to 77 quicker because of that. When I reached 75 elite nights, that's when I got my titanium status.
Well, surprise, surprise, I have gold status. And I have one night at Marriott. Thank you, American Express Business Platinum.
Nicole, I'm in the same boat. I also have Marriott Gold status, which doesn't give you much. Maybe late checkout, sometimes if available, sometimes an upgrade. Definitely not free breakfast.
Free water.
No. Sometimes.
I have my gold status like Nicole because of the American Express Business Platinum card. And there are actually a number of cards that give automatic gold status. Here are some of the cards that give you automatic gold status. The Platinum card from American Express, the Business Platinum card from American Express, and the Marriott Bonvoy Business card from American Express. And as we discussed earlier, the Marriott Brilliant card gives you automatic Platinum status.
We've gone into a lot of detail about Marriott, and we want to know, what are your favorite benefits of Marriott? What cards you have? What are some features that you like staying at Marriott hotels? We want to know all about your Marriott experiences, so please let us know in the comments.
That's it for now. I want to thank all of our hosts. It's Serena.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miguel.
Later.
And we're going to see you next week, Nicole.
See you guys next week.
And I'm Mitch Shannon. Make sure you sign up for our email newsletter. Just snap the QR code right now on your screen for the latest and everything going on in the Points and Miles world. And we're off next Friday, but we've got our very special edition of our trip to Mexico City. We'll see you the Friday after that. Thank you for watching and listening.
Let's get to the points.com.